All right, everybody. It's been a long time.
How long?
It's been 6 months,
3
8 days,
weeks?
12 hours since you went away. Yeah, dude. It's been a long time. But welcome back to the Honey Jam podcast.
Am I honey again?
Do you want me honey again?
Is Jess honey?
Jess is honey.
Jess is honey?
Yeah, I guess so.
She can keep honey.
Yeah. And I'm Jam. This is the Honey Jam podcast. And once again, I am joined by my husband, David S. Jeong. Welcome to the studio, David.
Thank you. I'm a co-host at this point.
I think you're a substitute while we're here in Korea,
Yeah.
far away from home, you know. So thank you for joining us on the podcast once again.
You're welcome.
We're in a new location today, huh?
That's right. Wonderful Ungam-dong.
That's
Here
right.
on the outskirts of Seoul.
Shout out to our dear friend Jay Lee, who is currently back in the States, spending Christmas, New Year's Eve with his family. And, you know, he was kind enough to offer his 3-bedroom home out here in South Korea to us while he's away.
Mm-hmm.
How has that been for you, David?
It's been amazing. This spot is so nice.
Yeah.
It's a little far. It's on the northwest side
Yeah.
towards Goyang.
1 hour away from Itaewon
1 hour from Itaewon.
on subway.
On public, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so nice here, having our own space.
Mm-hmm.
Jay picked a great spot, and he's not even here.
Yeah.
That's what friends are for.
It's been a long time since you and I have just been living alone. So at first we truly just basked in, you know, this empty home and just like really, I think, enjoyed it, right?
Yeah, we did nothing for like 2 days because we were both sick. That's why, though.
That's right.
Because I was sick for like 5 days.
Yeah.
Really bad. And then you were sick for 3 or 4 days after that. We tag teamed.
It was horrible.
So we recovered. We got here like right when we were feeling better. So
yeah. I mean,
it was nice.
I was able to recover quicker than David because I took medicine. Korea's antibiotics are so powerful. It was just boom.
I actually feel like you took longer to get better.
Well,
You're still coughing a little bit.
You were
I'm good.
bedridden for 5 days straight.
Yeah.
How was that?
I haven't been that sick since I was a child.
Yeah, David takes pride in his health. And so seeing him like not getting better after, you know, like 2 days even, I was just like, I felt so bad because that's a sight that's very rare. I never see you that sick.
Yeah, I think it's the first time since we got married.
Yeah.
Because the only other time where I was kind of out was like the COVID vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't even that bad. It was just for like a little bit, half day.
Yeah.
But I'm back.
Yeah, and then I was like teasing him. I'm like, you're sick. Well, obviously I was taking care of him. And then, you know, I was feeling real good. I don't know why I thought I was somehow immune. Like I didn't make him wear a mask. I didn't wear a mask while I was around him. We like ate at the same table. And lo and behold, I got sick immediately after. And so I suffered the consequences. Anyways, we felt a little bit better. Came here. And basically the first day we binged Squid Game 2. We just watched TV all day, ordered delivery.
I played Spider-Man. Jay has a PS5, which I never had, and I heard great things about Spider-Man. So
Like the video game.
yeah, the video game.
Yeah,
So I beat it in 2 days.
He spent like legit when we got here. We were so excited and happy because we haven't had, again, like a space on our own in such a long time. I think we just didn't like know what to do with ourselves. So David, first thing he did, he plopped himself onto the couch and played this Spider-Man video game literally all day.
Yeah.
All day.
It was so nice. I haven't done that since I was a kid also.
Yeah. And then I was just watching movies on the side. I watched It Ends With Us. terrible movie in my opinion. And then I just relaxed. We just relaxed. We just did nothing without a worry in the world because now it's the end of the year, and so work is slow. So I barely had any work the past 2 days, and we have just been chilling. But it's come to the point where like my head started hurting because we're watching so much TV. Like, has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, not this time though. I was chilling.
I was like, I can't do this any longer. Like 3 full days of just watching TV back to back to back to back. I was like,
No, it wasn't that much.
it was a lot. It was a lot. I mean, we went out today a little bit.
Yesterday we went out too. We walked by the river.
That's
we
right.
did
Yeah.
some exercise.
Yeah.
And we also went. Where did we go? Yesterday was Hanna. No. Yesterday was somewhere.
Yeah. But basically, like all of our friends who came to visit, they're all gone
Yes,
now.
the party's over. And the listeners at this point must be wondering,
Oh, yes.
why the hell are you guys still there and when are you coming back?
That's right.
So please give us an update because it is the 28th of December here, recording day. And
Already.
if I'm not mistaken, my original flight date was on the 27th.
That's right. Well,
And then the second flight date was bumped up to the 24th. And now it's the 28th and we're still here. So please tell us.
yeah, I wanted to share this update while Jess was on, but it's the end of the year and she just got back from Arizona, spending some time with family out there. So, I want to hop on here with David to share this update. And also, originally, I didn't want to do a recording tonight, but because we were watching so much TV and my head started hurting, I was like, I have to do anything else besides just freaking vegging out on the couch and watching TV. So here I am. Here we are.
Yeah.
About to share an update.
All right,
And
get to it. You're making it sound like it's...
it's not a huge update, but basically the reason why we are in Korea for so long, it'll be our 3rd month here, is because we are doing IVF
In vitro fertilization.
in Korea. And so, I was a little hesitant to share this update at first because it can be a sensitive topic a little bit. Especially because, I shared before, but we have been trying for a baby for almost 4 years now. And, it's a roller coaster of emotions. And I thought, maybe sharing this would be very vulnerable. But now I'm at a very stable place where I'm like, okay, I could share this with the world.
Well, I think it's 3 years.
3 years?
It's 3 full years complete.
It's going to be our 4th year.
We're going to be starting the beginning of the 4th year
Yeah.
next year.
And so we originally planned to do IVF coming to Korea. And basically we did 1 round.
Why? Why would you do it in Korea, first of all?
Great question, David. We decided to do it in Korea because for those of you who might not be familiar with IVF, in America, it's freaking expensive. If you don't have insurance that covers IVF, you basically have to be prepared to shell out $20,000 for 1 cycle, which means 1 cycle includes retrieving the eggs, putting fertilizing with the sperm, and then making healthy embryos, hopefully, if that is possible, if that happens, and then putting it back in.
Want me to just explain it?
Yeah, why don't you explain it then? I just did.
Well, I mean, it's like the meds too, right?
Right.
We're
The
doing
shots.
shots. Do you even know what it is? This one's called Follistim. We also have all these other kinds. Ovidril is the trigger shot, right?
Yeah, a bunch of
But
shots.
anyway, probably each cycle we've been doing 10 shots.
Right.
Right. Leading up to it, basically.
We, as in you've been injecting
I've
me.
been injecting her. Basically, it's what is it? To stimulate your follicles. So normally girls, they drop 1 egg per cycle, but we're trying to get many eggs so that we can harvest them, fertilize them, test genetic tests to see which ones are good, and then put them back in.
That's right.
We did 1 cycle. We did 1 cycle here.
Can I just talk about my experience real quick?
Sure.
So the hospital that we're doing the IVF is called 차병원, and it's like very famous for their fertility clinic. And so far, like the whole procedure has been so smooth. The nurses are so nice. The hospital's clean and brand new. Specifically, we go to the one in Jamsil. And I've heard so many like different stories about people who've done IVF. Like, some people say like
In America, though.
yeah, in America, that's painful. Some people were like, it's fine. So I was a little scared going into it a little bit, but because we've done IUI before, I was like, pretty familiar with like the shots. David like injects the shots for me because I can't do it myself. He's been a champ though. You've been doing really well. So thank you for that.
Like the injections?
Yeah, the injections.
I mean, it's not that hard.
I mean, some people get freaked out by needles. Yeah, overall the procedure has been very smooth. And I was really scared. Like the one part I was really nervous about was when I went in for like a mini surgery to get the actual eggs retrieved, harvested, because like I basically went under, like I went to sleep. They gave me propofol. I don't know how to say it.
Propofol?
Yeah, propofol and fentanyl. Fentanyl in me. And so I was really nervous, but I in a blink of an eye, I woke up and it was done. So very smooth.
The egg retrieval.
Yeah, the egg retrieval. Yeah. Shots don't really hurt either. They're so thin.
I think you do get some extra like cramping here and there. Yeah. Some bloating and discomfort. You definitely have that. I don't think it's anything that's like debilitating for you. But for sure you have a little bit more. It's not like it's nothing.
Really?
Yeah, you yeah. You definitely
How do you know better how I feel than I do?
I know you better than you know yourself.
I mean,
but throughout the day randomly you'll be like, "Oh, okay, I'm fine."
That just might be my gas issue.
Nah, I think it's definitely increased since we've been doing this.
Okay. Well, overall though, like pretty good. I'm feeling good. So anyways, we did one cycle. We have one B-grade embryo.
B-grade embryo. So we retrieved 4 eggs.
This is getting real technical.
Well, some people might be interested.
That's true.
The quick rundown is basically you pull the eggs and then, they test the quality. And then every stage, so once they put the sperm in and fertilize it, some don't survive. And then they do genetic testing, and then some aren't viable. But anyway, at the end, after everything, we started with 4, and we ended with 1 B-grade embryo, which isn't the best. It's okay. Yeah. I think like even within the B scale, if you're towards the bottom of the B, it's just like trash, like not viable. Yeah. So we're somewhere like in the middle. I don't think it's like the doctor didn't really specify, but he did recommend that we stay and try again. We're doing that in 2 days and hoping to get one more
embryo.
Yeah. I mean, if we get more than that, that would be great. But, Janice has low AMH. Which means it's a low... It's like a hormone that is kind of indicating how many eggs you have. And hers is low for her age, but everything else is very healthy.
And just to give you an idea, like we have a friend who did IVF, right? And she's healthy, but they have insurance.
Same age.
Yeah, same age. She was able to retrieve like 18 eggs, 16 or 18 eggs. Like compare that with my 4 eggs is crazy.
18 and they ended with like 4, right?
4 or 5 embryos.
Yeah.
And we have 1. So
yeah. So that's what we're dealing with.
Yep.
Uphill battle.
That's right.
But, shoot.
I mean, for me, I think like more than the physical part, the hardest part is like the time, like waiting. It's such a long journey of just like waiting for results and doing all these things, waiting for the next period, and like during that time you just go through like a wave of emotions where it's like you feel a little hopeful, but you don't want to be too hopeful. You want to be optimistic, but you don't want to be too excited.
Yeah.
And so that's why
Janice, I'm kind of like stable, you know, not too many crazy high. My highs aren't too high, my lows aren't too low.
Right.
But for sure, you get so excited and you get so depressed.
Yeah.
So I always have to tell you that to just like, you know, we'll be optimistic, but you know, just chill out.
Exactly.
Relax a little bit.
I think that's why, like, before I was like a little sensitive about sharing this information, because I was like, oh, you know, what if things don't work out, and like I'm just like excited for no reason and all these things, like, and now I'm at a place where I'm just like, you know, whatever happens, and you know, hopefully our story can also encourage people out there who might be struggling with infertility or fertility too, you know. Just to, you know.
Well, this is how you feel right now.
Right.
But
at
you
the moment.
change, all the time.
I change all the time.
It's hard. So, well, the whole point of doing IVF was kind of like leaving no stone unturned, right? We wanted to try everything so that later on, if we end up not being able to have kids, we know we tried everything.
Exactly.
And we could be at peace with that.
Yeah. And I think like David has been so supportive through it all, because, you know, he's okay. I think he's accepted, like, maybe if we don't have kids, that's fine too. But like, he knows that I really want kids. We want to do this basically for my peace of mind, kind of.
Well, I want kids more than you, I think. But I think what you're trying to say is that, like,
what am I trying to say?
Basically, through the 3-year process, I came to terms with possibly not being able to have kids. I was okay with not doing IVF. And if it didn't work out, then, you know, it sucks. But at least we have a happy marriage so far. Yeah. Which, you know, some people can't even say that, you know, finding a partner is such a important decision. So we at least did that part, and it's going well. Yeah. So if we can't have kids, that, you know, it sucks, but whatever. We can still live a happy life. Yeah. But for you, you felt like, correct me if I'm wrong, you felt like if we didn't have kids, you would still feel that like thing in the back of your mind, like, oh man, but what if we tried IVF? Yeah, and what if it worked, then our lives would be so different. So is that right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
So that's ultimately why we decided to come here and do it, because, you know, it is still expensive, but if you compare that to like peace of mind for the rest of your life, it's totally worth it.
That's what's going on right now. And that's why we extended our stay here, because we're going to go for one more retrieval. And then we're going to head back home finally. And then we have to eventually come back, you know, whenever we want. But we have to come back knowing that we'll have to stay for 2 months again. Yep. And let me tell you, I love Korea, right? I love it. We love Korea. However, this is the first time where I just want to go home so badly. Do you feel the same way?
I've been wanting to go home.
Well, yeah, because mainly you want to like start your business and stuff.
Yeah, I can't do that from here, so it's kind of painful.
Yeah, so it's a big waiting game for us both. And, you know, that was happening. We got sick and I got lazy. But now all of our friends are gone. This last month, how many days we have left here?
32.
These last 32 days, I don't want them to go to waste. Yes, we're waiting for this whole IVF thing and whatever, but you know, it's no longer vacation.
Well, I mean, technically, we're going to be done with hospital stuff in 2 days. Yeah. We're just kind of waiting for results and then seeing if maybe we have to do a checkup. Right. So we're going to have 30 full days of just Korea.
We have to do something in Korea. Like, you know, we've been to it all now. You know, we've been to all of the touristy places, all of the TikTok famous places. I'm so sick of it. I just need to lock it down and be more consistent with Honey Jam. David, you need to crank out more content for your stuff. And so, yeah, this is the return. This is a real return. It's a real return.
Oh, while we're talking about these returns and goals, Janice typically does not like making goals or doing New Year's resolutions.
I'm the type of person that, like, I don't need such extreme goals in my life. I just like to live life balanced, you know?
Day by day?
Yeah, day by day. Just finding a good balance, a good equilibrium. Why do you need to set such high goals? Like, you can reach high every day. You don't have to, you know, set that. Like, I have to hit this or else I'm a failure.
It's not about failure or not, though. It's just about setting something that you can work towards.
Yeah,
you can
so
look at
David always
towards.
likes setting goals for the new year. I'm like, I don't want to do it, but he's been harassing me. I have to talk to Jess about this, but my personal goal for Honey Jam, I would like for us to hit 20K on Instagram by the end of the year. Right now we're at 8K. 20K at the end of the end of 2025 would be nice. We'll see though. I mean,
It's
that
possible.
That means we really have to be consistent with our episodes.
Just keep bringing Danielle on.
Danielle and Joanne.
Yeah.
And that means please keep sharing our podcast with your friends and keep tuning in. That's one of my goals. And then
You have a health goal this year as well.
I do have a health goal.
2 health goals, actually.
I tend to panic a lot. I don't know if you've noticed. I have a lot of like anxiety, like pent up anxiety that I actually didn't realize I had until like this year, right? I think this year is when
it was this
realized like I do have a lot of stress. So I am committing to doing breathing exercises in the morning every day, at least for the weekdays, because David has been seriously like, telling me about breathing exercises for the longest time, but now I'm going to listen, a lot of things he tells me to do. He's been telling me to do so many things, but I never listen to David. And actually we got into a huge fight about this like a few days ago. He's like, I feel like I tell you to do all these things, it's all for your benefit, but you never listen to me. And then as soon as someone else tells you to do it, you're like, oh yeah, I should. And he just didn't feel like I was respecting or like listening.
I mean, I don't think it was that.
Then what was it?
It's just at the end of the day, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's just like, just listen to me one time. Like 10%.
So this is my 10%. I'm going to do the breathing exercises because I really do think I just need to chill a little bit next year in 2025. Like, just take a deep breath in the morning, start the morning by just like, calming my heart a little bit. I think that'll help. And then my second health goal is to complete this weightlifting program. Very like easy to follow program. It's just like a PDF on my phone. I do want to get like buff.
What?
Whenever I see like
Woman King?
Physical 100 or like Woman King. Is it Woman King? Is that what the name of the movie
That was
is?
the first time when I heard you say.
Dude, I want to be buff like that. But obviously that requires a lot of work. And I'm not going to actually get that
and steroids.
Buff. And steroids. But I want to like develop more like muscle because, we all know I'm actually very weak. Like it might seem like I'm like muscular, but it's all fake.
Yeah. It's good genetics.
Good genetics. I have some strong legs and very strong calves, but strong looking.
Your legs are actually strong. I'd say.
Are they?
Your upper body is very frail though.
I'm already on the Peloton a lot, but that's just cardio. I really like Peloton, so I'll keep that up 3 times a week at least. But muscle, I want muscle, baby. How about you, David? What are your goals for?
Well, you're also getting therapy next year, first time.
Yeah, I guess. Is that a goal?
I guess not, but you're trying it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
That's
try
something
it.
new for 2025. Mental health.
Mental health is where it all begins. Like stress starts from the mind.
Yeah.
And so, like, stress is the worst thing that you can put your body through.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, this is kind of embarrassing, but we were on the train bringing our stuff all the way to moving to Jay's place for a week.
Yeah, it's a long journey.
Yeah.
There's two subways we have to transfer to 2 different subways, and on top of that we have to do a final bus.
Yeah. And then her grandma packed us a bunch of food and stuff, so we had a lot of bags. It was like 2 backpacks, like 3 bags. We had like some potatoes in one and just a bunch of other stuff.
We like so many bags and like a huge backpack each of us.
Yeah, and then we got into one train and it was kind of packed, but there was one seat, and I didn't want to like put all my stuff on the floor because it would take up the whole aisle. That's how much we had. So I put my backpack up on top, and then I put some of the bags in front, like between my legs, because it was kind of packed. And then when we went to the transfer, we bolted off, carrying all the stuff, and I was like, fuck. I left my backpack, and my backpack had a lot of things. It had like my AirPods, my MacBook, her MacBook, and I don't know, some other stuff too, vitamins and whatever. And it was miserable, but like when that happened, you know, I'm freaking out and I'm being pissed off at myself because like I don't usually make those kinds of mistakes.
Yeah.
But Janice was like full on panic attack. She like couldn't breathe. Like, oh my god, what do we do? Wait, where do we go? What do we do? Oh.
I was hyperventilating.
Yeah.
Like our souls just left our bodies, and my face just like the blood just drained out, and it just turned pale. And I couldn't breathe.
Yeah. So, I mean, so we responded in very different ways.
Yeah.
Obviously, this situation was completely my fault. Like, I can't believe I did that still. But anyway, so first thing I did was I went back. I looked at, you know, where we came out from. So I remembered that. And then I remember the time that we got off so that we could talk to whoever eventually when we find.
Yeah.
Then I was going and looking for, like, the phone numbers of, like, the station to call. And eventually we found that each station has an info area. So we went back out and then we went there. Janice is just like, what do we do? Oh my gosh, what are we going to do? So anyway, we did that. And then at the end of the day, we had the train went to the end of the line to its last stop and it got picked up there. So we called the last
Thank God.
Yeah, we called the last station. And thankfully, no one touched it. So they picked it up for us. Once we retrieved the bag and we were waiting for the next train to start so we could go back, I was just like, relaxed. I was relaxed, but I was like, man, I can't believe I did that. It was like late at night. I think it added 2 more hours. We were already tired and it added 2 more hours to our transit time. And then all of a sudden we got the bag and Janice is just like, oh my God, yeah, we got the bag. She's like putting the phone in my face and recording me. And I'm just like, oh my God.
I'm like, David, what's wrong?
She's
Why
like,
are you in such a bad mood?
Why are you in a bad mood? And I was like, dude, first of all, her anxiety doing that, it just made me so much more stressed, even though, you know,
you don't show it.
It was a stressful situation, but it's like there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
So I know what we're going to do. But you're over here just, and so I have to, you know, figure out what to do, and then I have to tell you what we're doing, and then I have to sit there with you while you're just freaking out by yourself.
Yeah. So you were drained by that point.
Yeah, I was drained, and I was like disappointed.
You're blaming
in myself.
me?
No, I was drained, and I was disappointed in myself, and then I'm just trying to paint the picture of how like up and down you are.
Yeah.
How you were like freaking out and so anxious and just like about to pee your pants, white face, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, you're back to golden retriever Janice. Just, oh, where are we going? Hey, I'm gonna record you, and it's such a great time.
Someone was like, wait, Janice, you weren't pissed that David made that mistake? And David was like, I was mad already enough for both of us.
Yeah.
So I honestly wasn't even mad. I was just freaking out. But thank God that no one took it. Like only in Asia, you guys. And now this is the second time you've lost and found something in Asia.
But at least the first time it wasn't, you know,
your fault.
Negligence.
Right.
This one was my fault. I just completely forgot.
You just walked out of that subway just so confidently.
Yeah. I was like, hey, Janice, let's go. It's our stop.
Yeah, we like had time too. Yeah. We were like waiting by the door.
Yeah.
And then we like stepped out. David actually cussed. And I was like, whoa, this is bad. David never cusses.
That was a great moment.
So, yeah, that's just an example.
Yeah, this is why she needs breathing exercises.
Just therapy.
Yeah.
And like, you know, working out. So I'm hitting all 3: mental, physical, spiritual.
Where's the spiritual?
Therapy.
Therapy is spiritual. Okay. All right, sure.
And
then your honey jam.
Going to church and honey jam. Yeah.
Okay, so I have...
Let's not get into too many details, though, because yours
are
way too long.
No, mine, it's not that many details. Okay. I just want to launch my business.
Okay. Very broad.
Yeah. Well, I have a revenue target, I think, but, you know, there's no point in sharing that.
Okay.
I have a small revenue target.
Okay.
I want to launch, which just includes things like, you know, filing for LLC, trademarks, all that stuff.
Okay.
That's all part of it.
Right. Thinking of a brand name.
I have the brand name.
Okay.
And then I have my physical. I don't want nothing too crazy this time, actually, because before,
like workout, you mean?
Yeah, I did like big weightlifting numbers, but this time I just want to do 75 push-ups straight.
Okay.
15 pull-ups straight, and I have some like flexibility goals. I just want to stretch more.
Yes.
And,
he was doing yoga this morning.
Well, I love yoga.
Yeah.
So for sure I'll be doing more yoga, more stretching, and then that's it.
How about one more goal, like being nicer to your wife?
Dude, I'm so nice. A lot of our friends are like, "Man, Dave, you're kind of mean to Janice," or like, "You get frustrated with her." Yeah. And then they come on a trip with us, 3 days or more, 2 days or more, and every single time, without fail, they're like, "Ah, ha, ha. I understand."
You know, a classic
now.
example of that is our good friend Jay, who actually I think we'll have on soon. Now that we're gonna be here for a whole damn month. We're definitely going to have him on the podcast and make him share his experience with, being the third wheel.
Yeah. But Jay, he's like one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And he sat me down before and was like, dude, I think you need to be nicer to Janice. Sometimes I'm uncomfortable. I mean, and from the beginning, it's always been a goal of mine to be nicer. But it's a balance, because sometimes it's your fault.
Okay.
Sometimes you're so annoying. So I am always trying to be nicer, but everyone has their limits.
For sure.
And ever since Spain, when Jay joined us for 5 weeks in Europe, there was a specific moment where all of a sudden we were watching a movie and Janice just kept asking like ridiculous questions. And then Jay just started laughing by himself. And he was just saying, I understand. I get it now. I understand you, David. I thought this whole time that you were just kind of like a dick. But you're not. You're not.
Janice is just annoying?
You're just a very patient man, is what he says. Not necessarily that you're annoying, but, he could see how somebody could get very frustrated when having to deal with that all the time.
Like every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I appreciate it.
So now the big theme is that I'm a very patient guy.
You are very patient. And I appreciate you. You're the best.
I mean, pros and cons to each of our personality styles, right?
Yes.
Like you're so happy and so fun to be around. That's the pro. So joyful. You're like a bright light. Everyone calls you the happy virus. It's true. And then the flip side of that is you're freaking annoying sometimes. You don't think sometimes. A lot of times you don't think. You don't use the brain that got you into UCLA. Right?
Okay.
And for me, sometimes I could be mean, but I take care of a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me?
What stuff?
Why don't you tell me what's the pros and cons of being married to someone like me?
I think I've always I think I talked about this before. I think I always imagine myself to marry someone very similar to me, very bright energy, extrovert type of person. But I married someone who's actually the opposite. But there are lots of pros, like he might come off as mean and grumpy. And you know what tsundere is? Tsundere?
No.
Tsundere, I actually don't know what it's shortened for, but tsundere is basically someone who acts really like cold and stoic, but like 할 거 다 해줘. Like they do everything for you in the end.
Yep,
I think that's what you are, tsundere. And
But isn't it so great that
it's great. No, it's great. But my thing is, if you're gonna do it, just do it with a good attitude. Why do you make it so difficult?
It's the principle, man.
Yeah.
The principle.
Yeah, the principle. So, David takes care of me. And I know in the end, he loves me so much. And I love you. Even though I say it 100 times. I say 100 times a day, and David says it once every 3 days.
No, once a day now. I think I'm pretty good.
Do you have any gang cheese? Gang cheese. Do they have 호박 고구마s in America?
I was just thinking that.
Can you explain what a 호박 고구마 is?
호구마 뭐예요?
There is an iconic scene in a Korean sitcom called 거침없이 High Kick. It's old.
When did that come out?
It came out when we were in high school. It's old. But there's a scene where...
Okay, first of all, we were hanging out with my cousins and they were like, oh yeah, we have some 호박 고구마s. And I was like, what the hell is that? I never heard of that. And then all of a sudden, Janice and my other cousin, they were just like, 호박 고구마! 호박 고구마! I was like, dude, what is going on?
Like all three of us.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is
He
that?
wasn't in on the inside joke.
Yes. Then she showed me the video and I saw the reference, but I was just like, I had no idea what it was.
What is a hobakoguma?
Hobakoguma cross. It's like an apple mango, you know? It's
Hobak,
like
which is a
raspberry kiwi, all those different mixes that they have. But hobak is squash or pumpkin or something like that.
And koguma is sweet potato.
Yeah.
So it's like a very perfect sweet potato. The sweetest
It's like sweet and earthy.
Yeah.
And well, for me, my favorite part actually is the color because it's kind of it has
golden.
it has a little yellowish orange tint to it.
Yeah.
And all right, here's my kangchu. Okay, my kangchu is my sweet potato roasting method.
Ooh, I can attest. It was bomb.
All right, 400 degrees Fahrenheit.
On the air fryer.
Well, yeah, I mean, whatever you got, same thing. Take your sweet potatoes and then you poke some holes in them, which, like, I don't even know if that does anything.
It does, or else it'll explode.
No, actually, because I did it the first time without doing that.
Okay.
But anyway, sure, you could be safe. Poke some holes with the fork, and then you wrap the whole thing in foil and you fully steam it.
Yeah.
Okay. So not individually. I think individually would work too, but I just take a big sheet and then I wrap the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then you put that in the oven for like an hour.
An hour.
An hour.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, it's all just like steaming in there.
Inside the foil.
Yeah, super good amazingness. And it gets all nice and soft.
And nutty.
And custardy.
And crispy on the outside.
No, not crispy
on the
yet.
outside.
After 1 hour, you open the foil
Okay.
so all the steam gets out. And then you can get a little bit more of the caramelization. So like the parts where it's touching, the pan and on top, it'll get a little bit like caramelized and nice and golden brown.
It's like almost
so
like
you'll
honey.
so you'll have like the soft custardiness on the inside, but the outside a little bit crispy, a
little
nice
dry
and like syrupy and just so good.
It's the perfect winter snack.
So yeah, usually I do like 1 hour closed, wrapped up, and then somewhere between like 15 to 20 minutes open. But you could kind of check in between. But yesterday, Janice said with her own lips, the greatest koguma she's had in her life.
That was the sweetest sweet potato I've ever had. And I don't know if it's because it's a hobak koguma, the cross between the squash and sweet potato, but that was a dang good sweet potato.
Yeah.
It was like so sweet and the consistency was perfect.
So good.
I don't know though. I do think Korean sweet potatoes are different than American or the sweet potatoes in America.
Really?
I think so. It just hits different.
Have we tried regular sweet potatoes here yet?
Yeah, my grandma makes sweet potatoes all the time and it's like jammy and like
really
sweet.
I think those ones have just been the same.
No.
None special.
They were great. But thank you for your kangchu.
Do you have one?
I don't.
How about an IVF kangchu?
IVF kangchu?
잠실 차병원.
Yeah, that is my kangchu. If you're thinking of IVF, come on over. Join the family. Come to Korea. And we'll talk IVF. Check out 잠실 차병원.
Yes.
There's a 차병원.
Oh, I have another kangchu actually.
What is it?
So as part of the IVF process, you do have to do a semen collection. And, a lot of foreigners, online they say a lot of foreigners come to 차병원 because it's cheaper, right? It's like medical tourism.
Like what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, medical tourism.
Yeah, that's what they call it. But basically, my kangchu is if you're going to do IVF in Korea at 차병원, or if you're going to do it in a different country, my kangchu is to practice the language.
Oh, okay, good.
That way you can minimize the amount of time and eye contact you have with the nurse as you're handing them your little bottle of sperm.
Wait, you see a nurse when you're handing your sperm?
Well, actually, 차병원 does it in a good way where it's like a small window that's like down here.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah. Well, Kaiser wasn't like that. Kaiser.
You hand it to them directly?
I just handed it in a bag.
Right.
And I just handed it to them. But then at 차병원, there's a small window. It's almost like a burger joint or something, like a drive-through window. So you don't see anything except their hands, right? But then she said something and I didn't understand it. So I had to ask for clarification. And I don't know why, but she like peeked her head under and made eye contact with me to explain the thing for me. And then that was my instructions. She was basically giving me instructions on what to do, to go in, to lock the door, then come back, ring the bell. And then we made just direct eye contact. But then
this is before you had to go to the room.
Before. So then when I came back, she was basically trying to confirm that like my things were right.
Yeah.
And then she asked me, I forget what she asked me, but it was another question that I didn't understand. So I was like, ¿Cómo
so what is that?
She peeked her head under again, made direct eye contact, and then she like brought out a sheet of paper and was like looking at me and like making sure I understood what it was. And then
that's good.
And then I left and I paid.
So funny. Would you say that kind of like, disturbed the flow of the whole thing?
I mean, it's just, if you can avoid an encounter like that, why not?
Okay.
So
your Kangchu is to learn a new language.
At least learn the terms. It was, I don't even remember what it was.
Medical terms in Korean are very difficult too. Yeah. It's like so different.
Anyways, it wasn't that bad, but it was just a little funny.
Oh, that's good. That's
before
good.
I gave my sample.
Yeah. The first time he came out, I was like, so what you watch today?
Well, I'm a pro at this point.
Whoa.
I've done this like 5 times.
True.
Well, even more. We did like 4 IUIs and 2 collections.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And you had to squirt
one
every
collection.
time.
Yeah, 1 collection. And then my next one, hopefully my last one will be on Monday.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm a pro.
Oh, I see. So you have no problem.
I'm a pro, and I would say half those encounters where I'm giving my sample have been weird. The fertility clinic does it well. They like have a little window that like does it for you in America,
private.
Which was like 2 IUIs we did there. But the Kaiser ones, you're literally, they don't have a separate area.
You just go to the bathroom.
She was like, oh, just go to the bathroom stall. I was like, are you serious? What am I supposed to do? So I basically went around the hospital at Kaiser and I found a family bathroom that had a lock on there.
Dude,
thank God.
That's gross.
Yeah, but even that, it didn't feel like great.
In a bathroom, a bathroom
having
where
to do that there, exactly.
In a stall too. Can you imagine having to do that in a stall?
In a family bathroom. Yeah, but thankfully I didn't have to do it in a stall. And then when I came back, the nurse like smirked at me.
Why did she smirk at you?
I don't know. Maybe because I was quick. I'm not sure. Who knows what was going through her mind? But we made some funny eye contact and she gave me a little.
I don't recommend doing your fertility stuff.
Yes.
At Kaiser.
Don't do it at Kaiser. That was so stupid. That was actually it was a miserable experience for you too. Right?
It was.
Yeah, it was
like
the more painful. Like they don't really care.
Yeah. Those are great Kangchus, David.
Yes. If you're having any, apparently it's a thing where guys have anxiety and they're not able to not perform, but they're not able to collect the sample.
Oh, when they're so nervous.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So if you're going through this and you need a little pep talk, hop in my DMs, man. I got
your
you.
Man.
I'll let you know.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, thank you, David. I'm sure we'll see you once again. Everyone, please make sure to follow us on Instagram, watch us on YouTube, catch us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and we will see you next time.
Bye.